watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Thursday, August 22nd. In our top story, County Manager Tim Sutton announces his resignation from Nye County and is planning to fill his newly open schedule by opening a law and counseling firm right here in Pahrump.
County Manager Tim Sutton has announced his resignation with Nye County effective September 13, 2024, ending a 16-year career with Nye County. Sutton's journey began in 2008 as a law clerk for Judge Robert Lane. Following his clerkship, he managed a solo family law practice before joining the district attorney's office in 2011, where he served as a civil deputy district attorney for 7 years. He was then appointed county manager by former manager Pam Webster upon her retirement. Sutton describes his 7 years as county manager as an adventure dealing with challenges such as COVID-19, natural disasters, and fiscal management. In his resignation letter, Sutton expresses his gratitude for his opportunity to serve for Nye County. He plans to stay active in the community by opening a new law and consulting firm in Pahrump. Sutton concluded his resignation letter by thanking the community for their support and wishing them continued success. His resignation marks the end of a significant era in Nye County, but his impactful leadership will be remembered, and the Nye County Pahrump office says that his presence will be greatly missed.
In more local news, a Las Vegas man is arrested after reportedly stabbing another person in the side, then fleeing on foot from air support. News 25 reporter Anthony Roberts has this story.
On Sunday, August 18th, just after 7 p.m., police responded to a report of a battery in the 6200 block of Goldwater Bay Drive near South Hollywood Boulevard and East Desert Inn. As officers responded to the incident, the suspect, later identified as Javon Clark, was seen by officers jumping a wall into the Las Vegas water treatment plant. According to police, a Metro Air unit began tracking Clark, who fled into a cul-de-sac and attempted to jump a wall in a neighborhood but failed. Clark then came back onto the street where he was taken into custody. When officers asked Clark why he ran, he gave an answer the officers could not understand, and then he said he was done talking to them. The initial 911 caller said Clark stabbed her brother-in-law with a knife and could be under the influence of alcohol and or drugs. The report states the officer spoke to Clark's brother, who said he and the victim were playing video games in his room when Clark ran into the room, jumped on the bed, and stabbed the victim in the side. Clark then tried to stab his brother, but he pulled out a machete, which caused Clark to leave. Prior to the stabbing, Clark said he was going to stab someone in the house, leave them in a pool of blood, and then leave the house. According to the report, Clark had been living at the home on and off, but arrived the day before the stabbing when a family member brought him. A couple of hours before the stabbing, Clark was heard saying he was going to kill people in the house. According to police, Clark said that he loved his prison mindset and was seen sharpening an 8 to 12-inch kitchen knife on the tile floor of the bathroom, saying he was going to stab someone. Clark is currently facing 2 counts of attempted murder, battery with the use of a deadly weapon, and attempted battery. He is scheduled to appear in court on September 9th.
And the 17-year-old boy accused of planning a terrorist attack in Las Vegas is in district court this week.
The 17-year-old suspect accused of planning a terror attack in Las Vegas pleaded not guilty to charges on Wednesday, August 21st. Joshua Robles appeared in Clark County District Court for an arraignment hearing after a grand jury indicted him for 8 counts last week, including attempt to commit or cause an act of terrorism. The indictment alleges that Robles collected materials to build an improvised explosive device and posted about planning an attack in support of the Islamic State, also known as ISIS. Robles was 16 when Las Vegas Metro Police arrested him in late November of 2023, and because of his age at the time, the court and police kept Robles' name and details about his arrest confidential. Deputy Chief Dory Corin, with the Las Vegas Metro Homicide Security and Special Operation Division, released a statement at the time of his arrest in 2023.
The suspect is a 16-year-old juvenile who is local to the area and a recent convert to Islam. Our continued investigation that night revealed additional concerns regarding the validity of the threat, and at that point we immediately initiated a search warrant. The LVMPD SWAT team served that search warrant, and we were able to take the suspect into custody without incident. Our search revealed numerous items of concern to include terrorism propaganda and materials that indicated the suspect's intent to commit an act of terrorism.
Robles also had a floor plan of the Chaparral High School and guidebooks and manuals for building an explosive device in his possession, according to the indictment. His mother also told News 3 in Las Vegas that Robles did indeed go to Chaparral High School in Las Vegas. He also posted into an online chat room saying that he was going to be starting lone wolf operations in Las Vegas. In court last week, a Clark County judge placed Robles' bail at $1 million, and a bail hearing is scheduled for Wednesday, August 28th, where a judge could readdress this bail. A jury trial is set to begin on October 21st.
In more crime investigation, a Las Vegas nightclub owner is arrested after she reportedly attempted to murder her business partner.
Johanna Davila faces charges of attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Davila, who is described as the second in command at the nightclub called El Ferme, faces serious allegations involving the business owner as he attempted to negotiate the purchase of her share of the establishment. The victim had planned a meeting with Davila the day after the shooting incident. On July 12th, while driving home from work, the victim reported being tailgated by a van. As he approached the intersection of Lynn Lane and Owens Avenue, multiple gunshots were fired at his vehicle. Fortunately, he was not injured, but at least 5 bullets struck his car. Detectives uncovered surveillance footage revealing a vehicle linked to Davila in the vicinity during the incident. Law enforcement subsequently arrested her and another man. During the arrest, officers discovered a gun in Davila's purse that matched the unique shell casings found at the shooting scene. The male accomplice, who has not been charged, reportedly claimed to police that he did not know the victim and denied any involvement in the shooting. However, authorities suspect that he may have conspired with Davila to carry out the attack. Upon questioning, Davila initially claimed she was at Disneyland during the shooting, but later conceded that she was in the area. Authorities gathered evidence suggesting she may have been surveilling the victim for nearly 5 hours before the incident occurred. As of Thursday, Davila remains in custody with a bail set at $35,000, and a preliminary hearing is scheduled for September 4th.
Well, don't grab that remote. News 25 will be right back. And if you ever miss any of our newscasts, we're streaming on Ace Country and our radio app. You can download it for free. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. And now we turn to political and election coverage. It is night 4 of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, Illinois, and current Vice President Kamala Harris is set to give her acceptance speech for the official Democratic Party nomination for the candidate of president. And she will close out the Democratic National Convention tonight.
Vice President Kamala Harris will deliver her acceptance speech this evening to close out the Democratic National Convention. The event has focused on celebrating Harris and her running mate Tim Walz, while underscoring the stakes of the upcoming election against Donald Trump, especially with President Joe Biden opting not to seek re-election. As Harris formally accepts the party's nomination, she enters a crucial final stretch of the campaign, with just 75 days until Election Day. Her speech is seen as a pivotal moment, with millions of Americans expected to watch live or catch highlights online. While she is a familiar face as vice president, many voters are only now beginning to pay attention to the election. Abortion access has been a central theme throughout the convention, with Harris focusing her campaign on protecting freedoms she argues are threatened by Trump. Her acceptance marks the start of an intense campaign as she seeks to build on the momentum gained from her rise to the top of the Democratic ticket.
And while the world reacts to America's presidential campaign season, many people have varying opinions about both presidential candidates. News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers joins us now with a look at the GOP's military plans if former President Donald Trump is reelected.
As this year's U.S. presidential race heats up like never before with shots fired in the most unprecedented of times, U.S. President Donald J. Trump has offered his unwavering stance on restoring America's depleted armed forces. As 45 stated, quote, "If we don't have a strong military, we won't be able to defend our interests and will be at the mercy of hostile nations."
I will ask for the resignations of every single senior military official who touched the Afghanistan disaster. I want their resignations immediately. This house cleaning will be a signal to the entire world and America military and everybody else. They want people to be held accountable for failure and incompetence. And it's just not acceptable that something like that could happen.
The Republican plan is to return peace through strength while rebuilding the U.S. military.
On day one, I will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our U.S. armed forces. We're taking it out. Our warriors should be focused on defeating America's enemies, not figuring out their genders. By that time, hopefully they know their genders. Marxist ideologies have no place in combat.
The 45th president has pledged to invest in an Iron Dome missile defense shield.
Think of it, they go in and they decide, oh, they're going to change my gender. No, we want them to know their gender when they go in. You have no idea the disruption that has caused, and the fake news refuses to report it. When I did a ban, I went to a lot of good generals. I said, I'm not going to tell you names. Just tell me, is it the right thing or the wrong thing? The wrong thing, sir.
The GOP presidential nominee vies to revive America's defense industrial base.
If you want to have a sex change or a social justice seminar, then you can do it somewhere else, but you're not going to do it in the Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force, or the United States Marines. Sorry. You're not going to do it there. The military brass that led these absurd and insulting initiatives will likewise be removed, and they will no longer be in command.
U.S. President Donald J. Trump plans to boost the salaries for all U.S. military. I'm Maria Centers for News 25 Las Vegas.
And while Vice President Harris speaks and gives her platform on her policies for inclusion and equity throughout this campaign, and if elected, former President Donald Trump is set to give campaign speeches throughout the Southwest and in Nevada on tomorrow. And turning back now to local news, Josh from Great Computer Deals is giving us our weekly quick tutorial on the pros and cons of free email services. Those are compared to different paid services out there.
Hey guys, Josh Osborne here with Pahrump Zone Great Computer Deals. It's time for another quick tutorial. Today we're talking about free email services versus paid email services. Now I'm sure you have an email account, and in many cases people will have a free one. Google offers Gmail, Yahoo has their Yahoo Mail, Microsoft has Hotmail or Outlook, and they're totally free. It's nice to be able to have a free service, but one thing that a lot of people don't realize is when you get these free services, because it's free, you are just a number to them. You are of no real value because you're not paying for that service. So if anything were to go wrong and you need to talk to an actual human being, there is no number you can call. There is no email address that you can write to. And honestly, I've seen many times where people have their entire business on one single Gmail account, for example, and then when they get locked out of it, they don't have anybody to turn to help, and their entire business is compromised because they're completely locked out and there's zero they can do about it. If that's the case, what I would consider for you guys to do, if you really are desperately in need of your email service and you can't live without it, consider going with a paid email service. I won't list too many specifics, there are tons that are out there, but when you have a free one, you get no service. when you get a paid service, there is always somebody to help if things were to go down, because you are paying them a monthly fee. Even if it's $5 a month, they want to continuously get that money coming in, so they're going to be available to you. There's an actual tech support number where you can talk to a human being and get support. So learn from a lot of these folks that have got free email services, have lost their password or got changed on them, and they had no options, nobody to call, and consider getting a paid one instead. I know it's a couple extra dollars out of your wallet, and that's tough these days. We're all kind of struggling. But if it's an email address that's crucial to your business or to you personally, and you cannot live without it, you cannot take that risk. So I make no extra money by giving you a referral in this case. I've just seen so many times where people have come in and lost something that's extremely important to them, and there was nothing we could do to help because it was through a free email service. Consider getting a paid one. I guarantee you won't regret it. I hope this information helps you guys out. We'll catch you guys on the next quick tutorial.
All right, a swing and a miss. Paseo Verde's update on the Little League World Series when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, Valley Electric Association is joining us to talk about how you can get smart about your energy savings.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Get smart about energy savings. 3 ways to make your home smarter. Number 1, smart speakers. Smart speakers allow you to control smart devices through voice control or apps. Help you save energy at home or away. Number 2, smart thermostats. Smart thermostats save you over $50 on annual energy bills. Learn your energy habits to adjust and conserve. Number 3, smart plugs. Smart plugs convert ordinary devices into smart ones, are affordable and easy to use. Remember, secure all smart devices to protect yourself and your family.
Well, after an unexpected loss, Paseo Verde is back up at bat tonight. Here's Mikey Ruhan with more on those champions and others in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Las Vegas Aviators picked up a W last night in Reno against the Aces. 5-2 rematch this evening at 6:35. Henderson, Nevada Little League team Paseo Verde squares off against Florida today. The winner of that game will advance to the Little League World Series U.S. Championship game. The loser will be eliminated. News 25 will keep you posted on the outcome. Las Vegas Aces lost to the Minnesota Lynx last night, 98-87. Rematch tomorrow evening in Minnesota. Las Vegas Raiders welcome the San Francisco Giants this Friday for their final preseason football game before the regular season. And Pahrump Valley Trojans varsity football welcome Cheyenne High School on Friday. And that's your look at sports on News 25. Ow!
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, let's take a breezy look outside through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam. There are high winds all throughout southern Nevada right now. even through Friday evening. Hold on to your hair hats. We'll be back with weather after the break.
Good evening, Nevada. I'm Kaylee Bentler back in the News 25 weather studios. Starting off with some regional weather. Up in Fernley, we are at 87, Fallon 90, Carson City 82, Tonopah 85, Goldfield 85 as well, Weather Twins, Beatty 95, Amargosa 101, Las Vegas 100, and Death Valley at 112. But in the paradise of Pahrump, we're currently at 97 degrees and sunny. We saw a high of 99, winds south 17 miles per hour. Humidity at 7%, and the sun rose at 6:08 and will set in the evening at 7:24. Expect humidity at 15%, winds southeast 14 miles per hour with a low of 72 and clear skies. As for the rest of the week, still seeing those winds Friday and Saturday at 18 miles an hour, but we are cooling off over the weekend with 90 degrees both days. Getting back up to 101 towards Wednesday and Thursday with some clouds there. And that's your look at the weather. Back to the desk. Here's Unette.
Thanks so much, Kaylee. I'm blown away by your weathercasts. Get it? Because of the high winds out there? Well, before we close tonight, we want to hear from you. Have you seen our advertisers? We need your feedback, so please visit our website at www.kpvm.tv and fill out an ad survey to help us entertain you. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and A's Country Radio, we will look forward to hearing you online and to seeing you during our next newscast. Good night.